Greetings, magical souls. This is also one that wasn't really in my list of little videos and things to share. But the other day I came across a little video where somebody who is quite connected to the earth and speaks to the earth and does animal communication, things like that. She shared a little video, and what she was saying is that the frequency of Gaia has shifted. And there was even some talk about the fact that, perhaps a new fractal is here within Gaia. So the old one has left, and there is a new soul fractal in Gaia. What she said after that was that the dragons are here. They are needing to work with us in very different ways from before. And so there was a whole lot of other stuff in the message, but that piqued my interest. And so what I did was I tuned in, and I asked the dragons. I said, is this something that we can know? I mean, I'm just curious about this, really. Maybe it's just, everybody's got their own lens on things, and each of us that are bringing through information is obviously coming through our filters and things. So it's very important to always take what resonates and trust your own channel. But it was really, really interesting what they came back with. And so I thought it was quite uplifting and beautiful. And it does relate to our earthly experience as well. So I thought I would share it. And I know that many of you that watch this channel love the dragons as much as I do. So when I just asked them in general, like, is there anything that might be helpful to know about the shift? Is there anything that we need to know that might be different in the way that we are working with you, or that we've worked with you in the past? These are very, very unique times. And, we think we know you, dragons, but maybe we should be asking more questions. So that's kind of the openness and the curiosity that I went into this conversation with. And I have some notes that I wrote down. So I'm just going to read them off. And while I read them, I'm going to share all of my dragons with you. So I have my main guardian dragon is Rogi. And then I have other what my friend DJ Conway used to refer to as what she used to refer to as co-magician dragons. I have quite a few of those as well. So I have Rogi, who is my guardian dragon. He is the one that's been with me throughout all lifetimes. He is very, very big. And then I have Talbar, who is a little red guy who kind of sits on my shoulder, and he's only about that big. And then I have Mart, who is beautiful. She is also one of my co-magician dragons, but also kind of a guardian in this lifetime. And then I have the one that I affectionately call T, because I can't speak her name. I can only hear it in my mind. It's full of clicks and funny sounds that I don't even know how to make. And she is also one of my co-magician dragons, but she does a lot of deep work with me, and sort of the darker work, and sometimes the clearing of things. She is what some people refer to as a chaos dragon. And she is massive. So she's probably 3 times the size of Rogi. Like, I'm talking about almost like a whole block size. When I stand next to T, I don't know, I feel like I'm the size of one of her scales. She's just really, really big. The last 2 are Ishna and Etan, and they are 2 dragons that are actually within my field. They're quite different from the other dragons. When I first met them, I couldn't understand why in this meditation I just kept seeing their eyes. And I kept physically pulling backwards in the meditation going, whoa, these dragons are close. Because normally I kind of feel them around me, or I see them in front of me. And these 2, I just kept seeing their eyes. And it was like, wow, they're like right here. And eventually it was like, yeah, we're in your field. We're part of your field. Like, they're constantly almost circling my energy body. So they're with me all the time. The others are also, but the others, I don't know, it's weird. The others are almost like they do other things as well. Anyway, so I will share them with you. And again, I encourage you to go into meditation and see just how many dragons are working with you. You'll always have a guardian dragon, but there may be more than one. So while you're looking at those pictures, here is what the dragons had to say. They are wanting us to consciously connect with them on a daily basis. Whether this is your guardian dragon, your co-magician dragons, other dragons that you have in your field, even just 5 minutes a day. So what I was really getting from this is that I think some of us, we're aware of them, but we don't actually consciously maybe greet them. Maybe when we get up in the morning, just spend 5 minutes connecting with them, that kind of thing. It's this conscious daily connection, greeting them, acknowledging them, just tuning into their energy every day, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. They are talking about being made manifest, and they said that this message will be the awakening of dragon energy in all the souls that are ready. They said they want us to think about the fact that when we connect with their energy more and more, we become like a homing beacon. And so we awaken dragon energy that then in our bodies, that then calls the dragons from the earth that are sleeping and from the galactic sort of realms and that kind of thing. When it's almost like it's this connecting with them every day that reinforces the dragon energy that we all have within, that we then become like a beacon. And the image that I was shown was almost like a blip. And all of the ones that are sleeping in earth start hearing this blip or feeling it in some way, shape, or form. The galactic dragons can almost see the blip, tune into it. So it's almost like a homing beacon, and it calls them home. It calls them back to Gaia, because remember, the dragon's energy runs through Gaia. They help to create Gaia. So I love that image that I was shown of this homing beacon. I asked them what ways we could connect to them, like what would this 5 minutes look like? You know, maybe some people find it difficult to meditate, so what could we do? And they said, you can get a photo, you can draw them, you can create them on AI, like I've done with all my images here. I created a lot of these in AI, and then I took them into Procreate on my iPad, and I had to change little things that weren't quite right in the AI image, like eye color, maybe some of the facial features, some of the coloring, like removing wings or putting wings on, or so just get creative with this process until you'll all of a sudden, as you look at it, go, boom, that's what my dragon looks like. And you've brought it into physical reality. What they were saying is if you can have a physical thing, so this could even be maybe a figurine that you find, maybe you're walking through the shop one day and something calls to you and it's a little dragon figurine and it just reminds you of your guardian dragon, something like that. But they're wanting something to be physical that can be on your desk or whatever, whether it's a drawing, a painting, a picture, a photograph, a figurine, a soft toy. Maybe even go through the internet and you find some oracle cards and there is a dragon in an oracle card, or there is a dragon image just somewhere on your internet search that just reminds you of your dragon. So any of these ways that you can then stick on your fridge or put on your desk or put next to your bed or stick it under your pillow, but something that just helps you to remind you to connect with your dragon every day. And what they were saying to me is that we can think about them, then we see them, then our hearts connect and we feel the love ignite for them. And this work each day is really manifestation, because it starts in our mind, we add our energy to it and our intention, and that's how we bring things into physical reality. So this was this whole thing about them being made manifest that they shared with me at the beginning. What they also said is, please check your fears. This is really, really important. So imagine if all of a sudden a dragon was to appear aside you, like literally in physical form. Do you have any fear about that happening? Would you be scared? Would you be frightened? Please examine whether you have any fear of us at all. I thought that was a really interesting point, because even when I think about that, I think if one had to land next to me, I mean, I'd probably be scared to death, first of all, and then I'd be so excited that I wouldn't be able to contain myself. And as they say, there is a fine line between excitement and fear. So, but I thought that was really interesting, because fear is something that prevents. And if we've got these, we might on the surface feel like, oh, we're giddy about our dragons. But if we have some unconscious fear around them, that really does need to be examined, because that's going to prevent them working with us. So it really made sense, but it was quite profound. Then they said, it has been a long time since the fall, the amnesia, the sleep. So it is different this time, because we're working with each other through frequencies first. So we can't see one another yet. Whereas in the times before, we could always see one another. So it's almost like a little bit more of a commitment to this. They're asking if we can be a little bit more committed to it. And as I said, it's not just, oh, I love dragons. It's really the time to now step up and go, how can I work with the dragons? How can I be of service to Gaia? How can do we need to bring in more dragons? Is there something in the ley lines that needs to be awakened? So what is it? Stepping really more into this, how can I be of service, rather than just I love dragons and they're all sweet and cute and I can't wait. They're really asking to check in. And because we can't see them, it's really, really important that we start to be a little bit more committed to this, those of us that want to be. Then they said, also with working with them, our power ignites. So this is another one of the how we're working with them differently. So we can't see them, but this is the other key thing. Our power ignites. We are not as used to it anymore because we've been giving it away. So when we work with the dragons and we have all these good vibes and all of this beautiful magical stuff that happens, but also the power becomes exponential. And that power may feel very, very unsettling to us because it is a lot. And they also just were sharing with me that if we are working with them with the very best of intentions, that we do not need to worry about the power being corrupted. So it's again an examining of any fear around power, because of course power has been very distorted on this planet. But what they said is that when we can step into that power, the image I was shown is almost like the power that we then allow, our dragon power that we allow to be ignited and felt and fully activated and embodied, ripples into the field, and it actually clears out the distorted power. So it's really, really key for anybody that's feeling guided to do this. It might feel a bit uncomfortable, but just know what it is when you can activate that. And if you don't have any fear of it, that actually when it ripples out, it actually has the power and the potency, because it is now pure organic primordial power. And it actually has the potential to actually blast away and obliterate the distorted power, which I didn't know. And then they also said that the dragon fire alchemizes the distorted power back to divine power. So we know that. So I guess that's what they were just showing me, is in the same way we're always calling on them to blow through places and to alchemize things. It's like when we hold that power within, it actually starts to ripple from us as well. We don't necessarily need to call them in to do it. We almost become that dragon fire, if you will. If we work on this daily just for 5 minutes, our capacity to hold our own power will increase. And by working with them, they will help with that. They can help to regulate our fields, all of that kind of thing. And this is really, really important for anybody that feels disempowered or helpless at this time. So this ignition of your own inner power is something that can really be helpful. So again, they said to me, a reiteration of this, it's not just by the silly stuff and the I love dragons and the whatever. It really has to be very intentional. And they can see our intentions. So it's this reignition of this primordial power. And so it will not happen. And that's why they're saying, do not worry about the power being corrupted again, because it will not happen, because they can see our intentions. So anybody that might be wanting to use this for something that isn't really for the highest good of themselves and of all, they are not going to, that power is not going to be able to be reignited. So we don't have to worry about the power becoming distorted. This is why. And then the last thing was to be aware of everything, believe. You know, your beliefs determine how you actually see the world and what you actually do. So please examine your beliefs. And this is your beliefs in dragons as well. Like, do you truly, truly believe that they are real? Or is it just, you know? And then do not let your mind dismiss anything. Please follow your heart, your body, and your feelings. So I think it's for when they're really starting to come in. And I feel almost like there's a slightly denser form that they want to take. And although we might not be able to see it yet, it's going to be something that is almost palpable, even though we can't name it with our physical senses or feel it, see it, hear it. But there's going to be something that where they almost are able to come in, and because it is denser, our energy can pick up on it. Like when somebody steps into the room and maybe your hair stands on end and something like that. So it really is this feeling into the body. And don't just go, oh, I thought I saw something there. And then the mind goes, oh, yeah, you're just imagining things. They're asking us not to do that, to try and get out of the mind. Trust. If you think you saw something out the corner of your eye and you thought it was dragon energy, go with that. Or should I say you felt it was dragon energy, not thought. You felt and you resonated, or you had something in the body, in the feeling, in the heart. That's what they want us to tune into. And then they basically ended off by just saying, we are waiting for your attention. And not in a bad way, because our attention should always be on us, but it's really is this giving them this little bit of more attention each day, giving them this little bit more of time and space each day. And it can be a simple thing. I know when I have my dragons around me, I mean, I've actually got 2 on my desk here today. But when I have them around me, I'm already more tuned in. And I mean, it's very hard not to have dragons around me in this house because they're everywhere. But it's just sometimes I have extra ones on my desk or around me. So and in my journal, I've got pictures of the dragons here that I've been sharing with you today. Here's my little letter opener. There's many dragons in this one. So it's just really, if you don't have a visual of your dragons, to just really get a visual of them. And then even if you stick it on the fridge and as you're walking, you just stop and you go, oh, it's just this, they want to slowly introduce their power and their energy back to us, because that's what's different from what it's been before. And they're not physically tangible to us yet. I want to again thank the dragons for the message. And I hope that this has been something very inspiring and very magical and very beautiful and very hopeful for these 30 days. And yeah, I just, there is a lot of good stuff happening at the moment. So I just want to remind you of that, not to bypass the bad stuff, but there is so much magic and so much good stuff happening right now. So with that, see you tomorrow here, just us together. Thank you.